Hello everybody, it's me here, Cameron Brown, and a warm welcome to the How to Cameron channel, and welcome to some more breakup advice. Smash the like button if you guys enjoy this video. Your appreciation is very much appreciated. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about your ex doing better than you after the breakup. And this is a topic that I think a lot of people think about after a breakup. And we're going to be talking about this in the context of maybe someone's broken up with you and you're worried that they're going to find someone better. They're going to upgrade from you, and one day you're going to see on their social media a picture of your ex-girlfriend or maybe your ex-boyfriend with an absolute stud or a model. And you're going to feel so terrible, and that's what you worry about. It sounds petty, when I bring up this idea, but I remember, straight after my most recent breakup, I felt that way. I was very disheartened, mostly because of my own appearance. It was mostly down to my own insecurities. I was worried that my ex was going to upgrade from me. Looking back on it, I was very pathetic for thinking that way, because I think people have this narrative of after you have gone through a relationship with someone, after you've been in a relationship with someone, you need to upgrade. But realistically, when it comes to upgrading, it's such a stupid, juvenile way to look at things. It doesn't matter who your ex dates after you. They will think they're an upgrade, even if they're not. Even if they're hideous, they're going to think that their new boyfriend or their new girlfriend is an upgrade. That's the way they're going to look at things. They're not an upgrade, because looks and things like that are subjective. They're very subjective. Someone you might find to be very ugly may be really attractive to everyone else. But it's more about compatibility. The compatibility of someone new in the equation, is what's going to dictate whether or not the relationship, you upgrade from it, quote unquote. So if, for example, you had an ex that was very, let's say they were a massive Trump supporter, and you didn't like how they were a Trump supporter, most likely they're going to move on from you by trying to date other people, because a lot of people who do the breakup, the way they move on is really unproductive. The reason why is because when someone breaks up with you, their ego takes control. A lot of the time when you break up with someone, your ego is boosted because you feel like, you've rejected someone who wants you. And that's a good feeling to have. But because of that feeling, it's a negative feeling. It's a stupid way to look at things. When you have a boosted ego, you're not going to be constructive from the breakup. The breakup is not going to make you a better person. It's not. In fact, it's going to encapsulate your qualities that may have broken the relationship, and it's going to cause them to become a bigger reality. These qualities, they're going to make more of your ex's personality, and that's going to lead to whoever she or he dates being the same situation, being with someone who is more compatible with them. So if you had an ex, let's say, that was a massive Trump supporter, and they broke up with you, maybe you were too much of a leftist, guess what? The next person they find will most likely be a Trump supporter as well, because they will look for someone just like them. Because they broke up with you, they're going to double down on their personality. Things that you may have had a problem with, they're going to double down on, and they're going to become more encapsulated and more obsessed with that idea in their brain. I know from personal experience, I had an ex who came out to me as bisexual. Now, her being bisexual wasn't a problem. It genuinely wasn't a problem. But the way she came out to me was really disrespectful. Almost a form of psychological abuse, I would argue. So I remember me and my ex, we had this argument, right? And it was long distance. It was a long distance relationship, and we hadn't seen each other for 3 months because of COVID. We only saw each other one time in the last 6 months of our relationship. So for the past 3 months, I've been excited to see this girl again. And I was struggling with family problems as well, living in a very toxic household. I was at an absolute low in my life. And I remember we had this argument, me and my ex did, about the term super straight. Using the term super straight, apparently it's transphobic, according to my ex, because if you don't want to have sex with trans people, that makes you transphobic. So I was arguing with her, but this was something she really cared about, clearly. And And I tried to, get away from the argument by sending her a screenshot of something that was completely irrelevant to the argument to try to sway away from the argument. It was like a screenshot of her tutor, one of my uni tutors. It was just me trying to sway off the conversation because I just wanted to see her. And in the morning, what she said to me was, I'm pretty certain I'm not straight. And then she went on to say that she wouldn't be able to talk to me for the rest of the day. We were in a straight relationship. When someone says to me, I'm pretty certain I'm not straight, you're kind of implying that you don't want a straight relationship. Like the way she said it, she didn't say she was bisexual, she said that she was pretty certain that she wasn't straight. And then she went on to say that she wouldn't be able to talk to me for the day because she was busy in the library. And at that point, I was really hurt because it was like she was breaking up with me over a message just before I could see her. And then after that, she's just not talking to me about it and refusing to talk about it. And it hurt, because it was obviously one of the worst points you could break up with someone just before you're able to see them again. And I remember I got angry at her and I said some hurtful things about her sexuality. I said that I wouldn't want to date someone who's bisexual because I'd be worried that they weren't able to explore their sexuality. And she took this the complete wrong way. She took this as me being biphobic when actually I was trying to think about her because I was correct. Funny enough, I was correct. Clearly she didn't want to be in a relationship with me. But she tried to paint this picture that I was biphobic. And since that, she has really epitomized on her Instagram, her being, the gay pride, lesbian pride, all that shit. She's really tapped into the LGBT community and she's become obsessed with it. Because as I mentioned before, when someone breaks up with you, whatever problems you had in the relationship, so for me and my most recent ex, it was the situation of her becoming bi, even though that wasn't an issue. That's what she thought I had an issue with. Because in hindsight, I've changed my mind. I believe you can be in a relationship, a content relationship with someone who is bisexual. But I was reacting to how she pretty much broke up with me. I thought she broke up with me. And I was trying to actually agree with her a little bit. I was trying to say to her, I understand, like, you can't explore your full sexuality. I understand. I was trying to kind of reason with her almost. Of course, I didn't want the breakup. Of course, I was hurt by her breaking up with me. But I was trying somewhat to make it not one-sided, even though it was in reality. But she epitomized, her being gay. She over-exaggerates it on her social media. And I'm pretty certain that that's a main compartment of her personality. A lot of exes, they will find something that you hated of them. Of course, she thinks I hate her being bisexual, which couldn't be any further from the truth. And also her being a radical leftist communist. And what she has done is she has made these things more of her personality. Hell, on her Twitter and Instagram bio, it says raging dirty communist. The reason why it says that is because I was against communism. Because I was so against, these certain things during her, the relationship, she's being rebellious. And that's exactly what exes do. They become rebellious towards you because they want to burn all the bridges. Someone who breaks up with you, one of the feelings they can deal with is regret. When you've been broken up with, there's not much you can regret. Even if you did things wrong, even if you said things wrong, they were the one who gave up on you. You were the one who was most likely begging for another chance and trying so hard to get another chance, and they gave up on you. And that feeling of regret is very real. It's a lot of the reason why exes come back to you. And a way that some people try to deal with regret is they try to completely burn all bridges. So they try to have like a personality switch. They try to completely change as a person so you'd never want them back. And they do that because they feel like if they burn all bridges, they haven't made a mistake because, quite frankly, they're a different person to who they used to be. Like they can't go back to you if they're a completely different person because they were never with you, if that makes any sense. But it all hits them back in the butt. It really, really does. And I mean this when I say this. If you have an ex that's been hurtful to you, if you have an ex that's been rebellious, if you have an ex that's trying to get at your skin and trying to be rebellious and all that shit, they're the exes that come back to you. Funny thing is when they come back to you, you'll be better than them. You'll be able to do better than them. And that's what you need to remember. But just to mention, they will find someone new. Most likely they'll find someone new relatively quickly because A lot of exes, they hate being single. They hate it. They don't want to be single. They want you to be chasing them. And if you're not chasing them, they feel pretty single. And they don't like being single because it hurts their ego. A lot of it is ego-based. I remember my ex, she tried to push this narrative that I'm a narcissist. And that's just victim mentality. And I'm going to be making a video talking about that because a lot of people use the term narcissist in the complete wrong context. My ex constantly talked about how the reason why I wanted good terms with her is because I wanted her to continue like growing my ego. And she also said to me, oh, the only reason why you want good terms is so you can somewhat be in my life still. And I was there thinking to myself, like, bitch, I was the one who removed your social media, you donut. You literally kept me on social media and I left you alone after the breakup. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much about my situation because I don't want to come across as bitter. But these are things that I've learned from my personal experience and I can't really not talk about it. Like, I feel like that'd be a waste of life experience and that's not the point of life. The point of life is to learn from your mistakes. And I'm just trying to talk to you guys about mistakes that I've made and mistakes that my ex has made as well. That's funny to say. Well, fundamentally, your ex will move on to someone, but most likely they're not going to be an upgrade. Using the term upgrade and downgrade is so preschool. Well, not preschool, more middle school, junior school. It's a junior school term, maybe a secondary school term. The reason why is because realistically, if you are choosing, if you're deciding whether or not someone's an upgrade or a downgrade, you're kind of implying that the other person's still an option, which they're not. If someone breaks up with you, leave them. Do not take them back. The only way you should take them back is if they really apologize to you and they really say sorry to you. And even then, you should really take things slow. They're not an option, quite frankly. And if you can find someone who loves you and respects you, you've already upgraded. Even if they're ugly, they still care about you. And that's an upgrade in itself. But it's not about upgrading and downgrading. It's about finding someone who's compatible. And as I mentioned before, your ex is going to take the things that you disliked about them or issues that they may have perceived that you had with them. They are going to over-exaggerate these behaviors. Okay, they're going to over-exaggerate maybe how they're a communist, maybe how they're bisexual, maybe how, they eat meat or whatever. If you're a vegan and they were a meat eater the whole time. It could be anything. They're going to over-exaggerate that. And then that is going to attract someone who they think is more compatible. So because of that, they're going to think that they've upgraded from you. But realistically, they're not. Because the things that you gain from being rejected and being broken up with, that shit is what makes you a better person. Not only is it a lot of psychological torment, and when you deal with a lot of psychological pain, it just conditions you to deal with it so much better. Being rejected, you should use that energy to work on yourself and go to the gym and just improve your life. And the thing is, you don't have that ego boost. You being broken up with, you feeling like you're not good enough, you feeling rejected. These are things that you're going to deal with and they're going to grow you as a person. They have this inflated ego because they broke up with you. They feel like they're better than you, but it's all delusion because they're not better than you. Your ex is not better than you just because they broke up with you. It's just the reality. They're not. When someone gets in a relationship with you, they get in a relationship with you because they don't think they can do better than you. Okay, they think you're the best they can do. If you look the same as you did after the relationship, they're still in their mind. They don't know if they can do better than you. They don't, because they originally got with you. Like, that's the thing you've got to understand. And now you have all the memories. All these memories are going to circulate her mind or his mind of all the good times you had together. And guess what? They're going to play against her. They're going to hurt her or him or whatever it is. That's what they're going to do. These memories are going to do, because they're trying to envision you're someone who you're not. They're trying to pretend that you're this horrible person. And this is what most exes do. They always try to do this. And they're just going to try to move on through that way. But then the memories that they have of you are going to go completely against that. And they're going to go haywire. They're not going to upgrade from you, though. I can guarantee it. I should probably do a video instead on why you should never make fun of your ex's new boyfriend or new girlfriend. You shouldn't do that because it's really tempting. It really is. But you can't do that. You can't do that. No, you're not allowed to do that. Because they will downgrade. I guarantee you. I absolutely guarantee you. Because they can't upgrade. How can they upgrade from you? Like, if you think about it logically, you're the one who's dealt with rejection. You're the one who's going to focus on yourself and better yourself. They're over there, happy as hell, like, oh, I broke up with him, I'm better than him. And that leads you to massive, massive positions of being comfortable with yourself. And not in the healthy way, but being egotistical. It makes them egotistical. And that's what I think is important to mention. This video was probably very rambly, but I had a lot of things I wanted to mention. So hopefully it was helpful to you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new today. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Take care, everyone.